I would now invite Mr. PGUK, the political analyst. He's also chair of Pakistan Press in UK. Please come forward and say a few words. And also to mention here that Mr. Mir was also former cricketer, and he played in 75 World Cup, which was captain by Mr. Iqbal.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Young Pakistani Professional Group UK here for organizing a very important event. It's not the numbers, it's the thoughts, and it's the brain set, the mindset which really matters. Because these are the very people who will eventually go out and speak to others, and of course we proliferate and encourage what the young professionals are doing. I was asked to speak about the media. Well, what more can I speak about the media except say that I am sorry that some of our media, unfortunately, in this very difficult time for our country, is not really playing what it ought to be. Unfortunately, the media, instead of highlighting the problems, the terror, the agony and the misery of the people. I've just returned, therefore, yesterday from Pakistan, and I tell you, I went to a place named Iftar Dinner, and there people can't even find a place to bury their dead. There, the bodies are in the trees, and they're keeping them there. So that's how bad it is in certain parts. Today, what we're seeing is that there are political parties in the country. It is their duty, it is their, I think, incumbent duty to help the government of the day without any political point scoring. But unfortunately, whoever wants to raise money wants to have a few stars on his shoulders and tell everybody that they're doing it and their party's doing it. I don't agree with it. This is not the government of the day's problem. This is not the opposition's problem. This is the national problem. And this national problem has to be taken by all of us, regardless of any political inclinations and thoughts and ideas. And this, unfortunately, is not there. And it is a sad thing, but beyond all of this sadness, of course, there is light. And this light is here in this room. Because as much negativity we see around, yes, there are positive people in the country. Yes, there are good people, like yourselves, who will come and raise funds. But when you speak about funds, yes, as the High Commissioner has mentioned, and I've mentioned on numerous occasions, that there are certain charitable organizations who raise money, and most of the money raised goes into administrative costs. So much so that I've highlighted that, for example, WHO, the World Health Organization, when it is given $1 billion, 80% of that has gone in administrative costs. So what does Pakistan get? Think about it. And this is the reason that we think that we are getting money in the country. We are not. Because whatever money is being given to us is being taken by salaries and administrative costs of Western nature. And that is where we are seeing there's a lack of tremendous amount of funds in the country. So all of this, like I said, if you have to think nationally, there is the Prime Minister of the day, Prime Minister of the government of the day. I think the money ought to be given to that Prime Minister, his relief fund. He's got a team working. We elected him. We got him in there as Pakistanis, whether you voted or not, but he's the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So when he organizes funds like this, I think we should be supporting. Tomorrow there could be another Prime Minister, whoever it may be. So that is the kind of, I think, uniformity we must be trying to build for the future. And if today we sit and start criticizing and go on the negative paths, I think we are going on the wrong track. I've always said that the media, its role is an opinion maker, not a decision maker. We're not here to make decisions where, how to take a government out and how to put a government in. No. We can only highlight, you are the opinion makers, you're the voters, you're the electorate, and you're the people who will come forward and give your decisions. Apart from this, apart from the floods, I think as much money we need, yes, it is imperative that the quicker we send it, the better it is. Because within this week, there have been warnings around Lahore that the River Ravi once it crosses 40,000 cubic feet of water, yes, Lahore is in danger as well. But we're told that India will give us warning of 2 days, 48 hours that we'll be vacating various places. But we, as a nation, again I'll say, in 1974, there was a civil defense scheme which was launched in Islamabad for the very first time. And I'm proud to say my father was the author of that, and he presented it to Mr. Zulfikar Bhutto at that time in Islamabad. That scheme I was going through, it was never implemented. It never went through. And today we are seeing disasters. We don't have a civil defense in the country. So we need to build it up, because we are the civil defense. The military is on the borders, the police has got to do its own securities and other ranges and so on and forth. We are the people who are the volunteers, as we say in different countries. So we need to be mobilized, we need to be taught, we need to be educated that in the event of disaster, we have to help. We don't have to look at others. So today to sit and say that government is not doing anything, I think that's a fallacy and that's a farce. I think we should be looking at us, looking at our own selves, and think about the future, that how do we intend to take the country forward? And that is, I think, the foremost thoughts we should have for the future. This is the national cause, and I think, for the young professionals, for what they've done, I think hats off to them, really. And whatever we can do, however we can do, I think we should do it. Because it's very easy, as I said, that we can come here on the podium and make a few speeches, get a few claps, and then thank you very much, go away after a cup of tea. But no, really see the pain out there, see the misery out there. I promise you, you'll cry. I did. You'll cry outside there. And this is something, we need to help. We need to help people. And until and unless we don't, I think we're on the losing track. This is not the call for the azan, but just a telephone bell. I don't have much more to say, but except that please help the young professionals. And as again, on a very serious note, what the High Commissioner has just mentioned, I think he didn't mention it quite elaborately. But the money which is being raised by ABCDE, I think that is a grave concern, because the money will be raised by certain people. But I hope, thinking positively, that it does go. But again, I think be careful who you give your money to. Advise your friends to give money to the right channels, to the right people, to the right authorities, not to just anybody who comes along and says, please help us, because it doesn't work like that. I've seen it many a times. I've seen a number of charities work like that, and it just doesn't. Because only last night I was watching a television broadcast, and a gentleman just inquired as to, on the water pump, where will this water pump go? And the man of the charity said, well, this will go to the people. He says, but there is no water for the people. He says, well, we'll give it when the water comes. I mean, what kind of an answer is that? So this is where you raise questions. My advice to you is, please give it to the Prime Minister's Relief Fund, because he's the Prime Minister, and we just have to support the Prime Minister today. Thank you very much.